Hey everyone, it's Melinda with Tailored and Teal, and welcome to another What Sold video. These are sales from February 1st through February 15th of 2024 on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and not Curtsy this time. So as you can tell from my intro, I had no sales on Curtsy, but I did have 3 sales on Mercari. It kind of seemed like as soon as I turned my Mercari page back on from vacation mode, I instantly had 3 sales. But then I didn't have any sales after that. So I don't really know. But the first sale that I did have was a sterling silver blue lapis lazuli ring. It was a size 8. I picked this up at a local garage sale. The person running the yard sale had quite a few sterling rings. It was this one and another one that I picked up. The other one has yet to sell, but this one sold for $21, which was an offer that the customer sent to me. Next up is a BDG 100% cotton medium wash frayed raw hem denim mini skirt. This was a size extra small. It had 0 stretch to it, but was very trendy and cute, and it sold for $13.50. And then the last sale on Mercari was a pair of shoes by Kenneth Cole Reaction. They were the Kina metallic gold slip-on shoes. These came to me in a ThredUp box over 2.5 years ago, so I was very excited when someone sent me a $15 offer, and off they went. So for my 3 Mercari sales, I had $49.50 in sales, $9.46 in fees, giving me a profit of $40.04, and my average sales price for each item that sold was $16.50. I did end up having 1 Instagram sale. If you watched the last video that I put out, which was like a come thrift with me type of video, you know that my mom and I are purging a lot of things from her house. One day on Instagram, I just kind of put up what I was keeping for myself to resell. And one of my Instagram friends reached out and asked about 2 certain items. It was a vintage wallpaper sample book, which I believe was from the late 80s or early 90s, and then a vintage cash management book. These actually sold to one of my OG friends, not just an Instagram friend, but a friend all the way from high school. Her name is Jen. She used to be a reseller. I don't think that she resells anymore, but she does enjoy thrifting, but she's also a fantastic artist. She makes lots of little like resin or clay pieces that she sells at markets and craft fairs. They're very quirky, very fun, and very colorful. And she does have her own YouTube channel, so if you'd like to go check her out, here is her channel. So she asked me how much I wanted for these. I mean, they were free to me, so I wasn't looking for a lot of money. Her and I worked out a good deal of $13 with free shipping. The shipping cost $6, and I purchased that from Pirate Ship, and my total overall profit was $7. I didn't have to list it. I didn't have to store it. I literally just cleaned it when I got home and sent it right to her. So Jen, if you're watching, thank you very much. And I am looking forward to see what kind of art you make with that wallpaper. Now moving on to Poshmark, where I had 8 sales. The first sale was a super old item I've had since 2019. It was a LuLaRoe Irma pinwheel star geometric red, white, and blue tunic. This was a size medium, I believe. But one of the reasons why I picked it up was because of the pattern. It reminded me very much of a quilt pattern. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out for me because it finally sold for $9 with discounted shipping, and I lost $1.36 on it. But I am very happy to see it go to a new home. Next up is a matte gold tone pinched circle link toggle closure belt. This was very interesting, and it came from one of my Shop Goodwill belt unboxings. I've never seen a pinched link like that before. No brands, but it felt really nice. And it sold for $12 with discounting shipping as well. We have a free to me item. This was a puzzle that my mother had given to me a long time ago. I've already put it together. I was ready to hand it off to a new home. It was a Dowdle Travel America USA Towns 300-piece jigsaw puzzle, and it sold for $9 with discounted shipping. Next up is an item that I picked up at a fill-a-bag sale. It did have one tiny little spot on the sleeve, which I did stain treat, but there was still a little bit of it left. It was a Ruby Road Patriotic plaid pleated button front roll tab sleeve blouse, and it sold for $11 with discounted shipping as well. The next sale was a bundle of 2 items. The first item was a silver tone open work medallion chain belt and also a faux pearl beaded anklet. I'm not really sure what the exact term for this type of anklet is. It had a little loop to go on one of your toes, and then the other part would go around your ankle. I know that when you have a bracelet that has a ring attached to it, it's called a slave bracelet. I don't like the name, I agree, but that's what it's called. But I'm not sure what an anklet is called. If I figure it out, I will put it up here on the screen because I am curious as well. And these 2 items sold in a bundle for $16 with no discounted shipping. Next up is an H&M bright orange high-waisted flare A-line midi skirt. This skirt came in a mystery box from my friend Courtney over at Magnolia Thrifts. My cost of goods for that mystery box was around 85 cents, so when someone sent me a $10 offer, I went ahead and accepted it, and there was no discounted shipping. Next up is an express black wire V-neck fit and flare skater skirt dress. I had never seen anything like this before, so it looked like it was a skater or a fit and flare dress, but underneath it had boy shorts. It was a very comfortable rayon stretchy fabric, and it sold for $11 with no discounted shipping. The customer and I did go back and forth on a price on this one. I had it listed around $20, and that's just off of what other sold comps were, but I did get tired of countering, so I just accepted the $11 offer and moved on. Hopefully they enjoy it. And then the last item to sell on Poshmark was a silver tone open O circle thin dainty simple band ring. I had to add a lot of keywords to this one because there wasn't really much going on with it. It was just a very simple ring, but a lot of people like that type of style. It sold for $9 with discounted shipping. Of my 8 Poshmark sales, I had $87 in sales, $22.95 in fees, $10.10 in shipping discounts, giving me a profit of $53.95. And my average sales price for each item that sold was $10.88. Now moving on to eBay, where I had 9 sales. The first sale was a Dooney & Bourke Belvedere pebbled leather crossbody purse. It was an ivory and brown color. This purse came to me in a ThredUp rescue box, and it had orange marker all over the leather. I tried everything that I could to remove it without actually damaging the purse. It wasn't working, so I decided to paint the purse. I do have a YouTube video that goes over the rehab of the purse. I go over everything I used, kind of some tips and tricks, and then I show you how to actually paint the purse itself. If you missed that video, I will link it up here and also in the description below. I had a feeling that this purse would sell relatively fast, even if it was painted and maybe not like 100% professionally painted. I still did a pretty good job, I think. It sold faster than I thought, and it sold for $33.99. I did receive positive feedback from the customer, and they love the purse. Next up is a large blue and clear square rhinestone silver tone cocktail ring. This thing was a bling blingin' ring. It was pretty big, definitely a showstopper, and it sold for $14.99. Next up, we have a die-cast car model red and ivory 1955 Chevy Bel Air. This was a 1/24 scale, and it sold for $12.75. That was a free-to-me item. Next up, we have a J. Crew Factory Chevron black and white sequin tank top, size medium. I did use the keywords New Year's Eve and also Swiftie for those Taylor Swift fans that still need to have sequins in their lives, and it sold for $10. Next up, we have a lavender brown. That was the brand name, not the color. I mean, yes, it was a little bit lavender color, but lavender brown was the brand. 100% silk blue snakeskin print racerback tank top. This came from my America's Thrift Supply micro bale, and it sold for $14. The next item is something that came from a ThredUp Fun rescue box. It was a black faux leather quilted adjustable belt bag or fanny pack. I did use the keywords travel and festival, and this was actually just a fanny pack or a belt bag from Amazon. I was able to find the listing on Amazon. It didn't really sell for that much money, but some people only shop on certain sites. So maybe this person saw it on eBay, but they're not a shopper on Amazon. They would have never known that they could have gotten it for brand new on Amazon if they're not a shopper of that website. That's why even if I don't think it's worth a lot of money, I might still list it because you never know who is looking for a particular item. This did not sell as much as how much it's listed on Amazon, but I didn't want it to, so I'm perfectly fine with that. And it sold for $9. Next up is a pair of Hudson signature boot cut stretch denim jeans. These were a size 27. This was in worn in condition and did have some flaws, but some people like that worn in feel because then they don't have to break in a pair of jeans. These sold for $11.89, and I believe that they came out of a ThredUp denim rescue box. Next up is a pair of rings. These were a burnt orange swirl striped glass stacking rings. They were such a beautiful burnt orange / terracotta color. These two rings came from my Shop Goodwill ring unboxing, and they sold for $8. And last, but certainly not least, was an amazing sale. One that I really wasn't expecting, but I'm super happy that it happened. It was a pair of Valentino Garavani black leather rock stud caged stiletto heel pumps. They were a size 39. These came from my ThredUp designer rescue box, and they were definitely pretty beat up. First of all, they were super dirty and had a lot of foot gunk on the footbed, but I was able to take care of that. They also had chunks missing from the leather on the stiletto heels, which I was able to use a leather filler and kind of piece it back together and make it look a little bit better. There was also some scuffing to the leather at the pointed toe, which I was able to sand out and put some shoe cream on. I also did a YouTube video about how I rehabbed these shoes. So if you'd like to watch that one, or if you missed it, again, I will link it up here and also below. I was very proud with the outcome, and I'm happy that I took the time to rehab them because they sold for $325. So of my 9 eBay sales, I made $439.62 in sales. I made a shipping profit of $25.70. Fees were $79.33, giving me a profit of $385.99. And my average sales price for each item that sold was $48.85, which is of course because of the Valentino heels. And now for my total numbers. I had 21 sales from February 1st through February 15th of 2024 on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and Instagram. I made $589.12 in sales. Fees were $102.14. My cost of goods was $79.45, giving me a total profit of $407.53. And my average cost of goods for each item that sold was $3.78. Well, that concludes this What Sold video of the first 2 weeks of February of 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!